Number 9 says write an equation of the vertical line through 4, -2. What does the equation of a vertical line look like?
X equals, so would it be x equals 4?
Well, aren't you?
Yeah, so 4, -2 would be right there. What's the equation of this line right here?
X equals 4.
Yeah, it's all the x values on that line are 4, so it's called x equals 4. Vertical lines are x equals, horizontal lines are y equals. You just have to kind of remember that.
Wait, what do you?
Wait, so you just put x equals 4?
Yes.
So horizontal is y equals?
Horizontal is y equals.
Yeah. I'll bring my electric guitar and you know.
Done.
Okay, number 12.
Wait.
Okay.
Skipping 10 and 11.
Yeah. How do we? It's right here. How do we simplify square root of -50? I was grading those, and some of your.
You can do a pattern tree.
Okay, what do we do with the negative?
Turns
Comes out as an I. So.
Where did 50 go?
5i.
Right. It's 5
Square root of 2i.
I square root of 2. That's what the first term becomes. Remember, the doubles come out as 5. You can just do it on the calculator too. 5i square root of 2 minus square root of -8 is 2 square root of 2. So it's 2i square root of 2.
And then you can just subtract.
So 3i squared.
So it's 3i square root of 2. Okay, on 13, 2 plus 3i squared, what kind of problem is that? On 13, 2 plus 3i squared, what kind of problem is that? Oil. What happens when you get I times I?
I squared, which is negative.
Okay, what would the first be here?
4.
4. 2 times 2 is 4. Outside.
9.
Minus 6i. Inside. Minus 6i.
Wait, why is it negative?
Isn't it plus when the
It's
math
plus.
Isn't it plus 6i minus 6i?
No.
No, it's
It's
a plus.
just plus 3i.
Plus. Pluses. Okay, and then 3i times 3i.
9i squared.
9i squared, which is minus 9. Then what? 4 minus 9.
Negative
Negative
5
plus 12i.
plus 12i.
Yeah, third. Yeah, third.
Can we actually do Donda's ratio?
Wow. I know.
I don't think that's the right
Did she say yes?
Wow.
I didn't
Miss
say
Jordan.
She didn't say no.
Mr. Jordan.
Hmm?
Why don't we do plus 9?
Because 9
I
is
squared equals
Oh,
negative
yeah.
You can
1.
have a rock con. You were drunk.
Yeah, that was definitely
You were angry.
We can play.
Alright, number 14. Okay, why do we have to simplify this?
Because there's
Eyes on the bottom.
Can't leave an I or square root in the denominator. How do we fix it?
multiplying by
reciprocal.
Multiply by the
conjugate.
conjugate. Anything you multiply the bottom by, you multiply the top by to keep it equal. Keep it the same.
Okay.
So the top is 1 times 2 minus 3i, so it's 2 minus 3i. The bottom is a FOIL, but it's a conjugate FOIL, so you can just do the first and last. Why don't you guys try the bottom, see if you get the same answers I did without a calculator. Try it without a calculator.
I got 4.
It's easy. Shh,
minus-
nope. Hush.
Is this 4? Yeah.
Rachel, did you try?
Yes.
No, she did.
That was
But you, Rachel, huh?
One second.
Huh?
Jeez. 4 minus, or like 2 minus 3.
Is that what you got?
I
Is that
over
what?
4 minus 9 I squared, but technically that's like plus 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, son.
Well, I got that.
You didn't quite finish, but.
Yeah, because 9I squared makes it negative. So it's actually 4 plus 9.
That's what I just said.
That's what
I
I did.
just said that.
That's it.
Did you?
Second.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but what does that equal, Brady?
That equals 4 plus 9I.
So basically,
No, it's-
over
No, it's
13.
not.
over
Just
13.
4 plus 9.
Is that why?
4 plus 9
Over
equals
13.
12.
Oh my gosh.
Can I delete myself? I need to go delete myself.
13.
My brain hurts too much.
Yeah.
Can we do anything with that?
Yes.
No.
No. I was saying
No,
yes.
Brady, you
I was
cannot.
saying yes, but
All right. On 16,
What do you mean?
why don't you guys try that one on your own too? Huh? Oh, whoops, 15.
Big puff, dude.
Okay, why don't you guys try 15 on your own? See if you get that one.
It's too much trying.
That's what I mean, you are the she that says, wait, no, that's not.
Hey, your calculator's turned up again.
No, I got a few more.
Not like that, I swear.
Is that the only one that does it, Brady?
Yeah.
No, there's another one.
I know.
He was lying.
I was like,
Now that song's in my head.
What you know about
Rolling down the deep.
oh, oh no.
He doesn't know how to do it.
What? I just.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't do
Then why'd
it.
you say oh no?
Because I had to do
Yo,
it.
what the heck?
Because he was afraid his calculator couldn't do it.
No.
I thought he didn't know how to.
Rachel's calculator is racist.
My calculator is.
It doesn't work for him, but
Maybe it's not racist, it's just discerning.
Oh!
What is this
That's
for?
called racism.
No, you made it right.
It's.
Which that doesn't
Oh,
actually
yeah.
exist because that would make me like
I already know.
because it like let's help this person. Okay, shut up, please.
Hey, you know what? You shut up.
Shut
You know what that makes me
I
more
think I got as
sexy.
far
That
as
is-
I could
yeah.
go.
As far as you can go.
That wasn't very far, I'm pretty sure I
We
did
were
wrong.
not need
It's not
sexism, we just need ism.
Yo.
Remove word.
I ain't picking up keyword. This is
But you start.
How about that?
Okay, I think
Oh, yeah.
everything on the stems except for the graph.
Apparently she has high
Which is
up
like
that she's
9%
gonna make
test.
art out
Who?
of. The art teacher.
Oh,
I'm reading this in real time.
What is this?
oh my
So
god.
Daniel's in art with like
You have no
white.
idea how happy that just
And
made me.
there's this
He's
art
like-
teacher
That's right.
who has the blocks of coyote guns, which he is going to make art out of.
What's it? Are you?
Like coyotes.
Oh, coyote. That's
Shh, guys, hush.
whack.
Do you not know it?
She's like,
Alright, did you guys do the problem or not?
yeah, I did. I did it, and I did 16 too.
You just plugged in the calculator, I know.
That is doing you.
Technically.
Okay.
It takes intelligence.
I got 1/2 plus square root 3 over 2.
No, my calculator can't do I to the 17th. Joshua. Joshua.
I can't.
How you do that, Joshua?
Me no comprehende anymore.
What do you need it on? Complex?
Mine separated them.
What?
Yeah, the calculator will separate it. I think most books do,
This
but
is a calculator smaller than
it's separated, I just,
Wait, how do you get the
this book doesn't separate it.
Can you explain like
Which part?
Yeah.
yeah, just the
Here?
top.
Here?
Yeah.
Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. When you square a square root, they cancel out. I squared of 3, I squared of 3.
You probably.
She's crazy.
I squared, foil. And that plus that is just 2 of those. I squared is -1. Anyway, 3 minus 1 is 2.
Hello, my dude.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Yo, what's the up?
Alright.
I didn't even dream about
Okay, go ahead and do 16 if you haven't yet. Remember, you just have to use distributive property and then put your like terms together.
Guess what?
I probably am not going to talk about that one.
I already did it.
Brady already
No,
said
I
that.
did. I
also.
was gonna plug it in. It just like was there. I'm like, why was it just there? What the heck? I think my calculator's possessed. I didn't touch it, and it like has the nice app.
Whoa. You missed,
Where have you been
Boar's Day.
Are you dying?
No, I just had a doctor's appointment.
We had chapels. Oh, you got it. Never mind.
Oh, Jordan needs a friend. Jordan's mad at us. Yeah. He's been.
I asked Jordan today if she was like, her life was a constant war, her versus everybody, except for Nevaeh.
What did she say to that?
She said, no, Nevaeh and I fight sometimes too.
The biggest part of the Navajo tribe?
What?
I'm actually not.
Did
What's
the
that?
simul
You're
equation.
not?
No.
Why did you tell me you were?
You told me I was yesterday.
But you didn't. Did I?
Yes.
I feel like wait, what was 16?
16, we didn't talk about it. You can check with each other if you want to. Okay, 17. What? Stop. No, I don't think so.
Hold up.
So what you guys doing?
What type of equation?
What do you mean equation?
It can simplify.
No,
No, not equations.
yes. You
Even,
don't pick them.
yeah,
No.
If you have a good enough calculator in
because-
class,
no.
Easy to confirm those.
There's programs on the computer that can do it, but no.
Yeah, just
Okay.
smart.
Number 17. Okay, we talked about this once, I'm sure you forgot. Does anybody think they might remember the
I
trick?
do. There's a pattern
It's by
between
four.
I.
Okay, every 4, it repeats itself. So, I to the first is just I to the second is, I to the third is, right, -1 times I, so it's -I. And I to the fourth is -I squared, which is +1. So, and then if you multiply by I again, you're back at the start. So, every 4 it starts repeating itself. So if it's 17, that, when you do I to the 16th, you would be right here. Because it would be on the 4th. 16 is a power of 4, or is a multiple of 4, right? So 16 would be, I to the 16th is 1, so I to the 17th is just I.
oh,
That's tricky.
So one way to think about it is if you divide the power by 4, the remainder tells you where you're at. Like the remainder is 1, so it was I. 17 divided by 4 is 4, the remainder of 1. If I put one of those on the test, I'll warn you. I'll warn you about it.
we'll have a
So
calculator.
there isn't one on the test?
I'm not sure. I haven't made it yet.
Oh, I thought.
If I put one on there, we'll talk about it. Okay, number 18. This is the party that Drew missed. How do we solve 18a?
Put it in the calculator.
No.
Oh, make it all, like.
You put it all on one side.
Put it all on one side, make it equal 0.
And then quadratic.
and quadratic formula. You could use factoring on that one, but yeah, quadratic formula should work also. Why don't you guys try A, B, and C, and I'll come around if you need any help on 18. Yeah, we're going to 20 here. Shh. You should have done 21.
What's not close then?
Did you say it did factor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does factor also. You can use quadratic formula or factoring.
This thing can solve this. Solve what? These. A, B, and C.
That would have been helpful in the ACT.
No, yeah.
I did it though.
The TIA.
Wait, how? How?
I'm not gonna show you.
Take my money.
It's too much power.
You're not ready for it.
I need to know.
The graphing calculators can do it too, but you have to program them to do it.
You guys seems hard.
Why don't they just include the
I need to know. Okay.
These are all agents. Oh, and there's.
I know.
I got all their papers.
Oh, sweet. Hey, Mr. Jordan. Hey, Matthew, did you get -2?
Do all of them factor?
Are you what?
Did you
No.
-2?
B doesn't factor.
Yes.
No.
What did you get?
Isn't the discriminant
18A?
square root
Yeah.
of B minus 4AC?
B squared minus 4C.
No. Oh, yeah, it is.
Is that also what we're
Yeah.
doing?
What? Wait.
No, just what's under the square root. Okay. Does it say discriminant?
Number 9.
Are you sure it's not positive 2
Oh,
over
wait,
7?
no, that's not.
Oh, you're
We
right.
never talked about that.
Some of it is.
Yeah, because it's -2 over 7 and
I know,
plus
that's the
1.
one. What does it?
Yeah, so it's positive 2 over 7. What?
No, it's -2 or something.
Negative.
It's
Like
negative.
again,
You have 2 answers. Yeah, I know, but the
We're on positive
2 over
two.
7 is already negative. Or like it's no, it's 7x minus 2 and the x plus 1. No,
What's
it's
the
7x
simplified
plus
form
2.
of square root of 52?
Oh, wait, was it negative 5? Oh, it was, okay. I did an oopsie.
You don't have a
Did you
Casio.
oopsie yourself?
I did a little.
Let's see, it's 4 times
I'm gonna
13, so 2 squared root of 13.
Please no.
But I don't do myself, so I say I do like.
No.
That was a check from 2 over 7.
So when I'm filling out, why I put stuff at the one.
B squared negative
No, the bottom's a 1.
minus
Divided by 14.
4 AC.
And this parking is on fine. Just for graphic.
What part are you afraid of?
Basically what we did yesterday.
All of yesterday.
No, like I actually didn't have to go over. I just talked to it.
Like on
Yeah,
any
the
of
other
it?
is big quadratic.
Well,
No. Oh, for B, you have to use quadratic?
So like, you gotta write
Uh,
the equation, just give them 2 points.
yeah. I know, I didn't get.
You need the slope and y-intercept. Start with the slope formula. Y is y maximum is x.
Well, yeah, I understood that.
I'm figuring this out if it's the last thing I do.
Are you figuring it out or is it figuring you out?
It's fine. I've accepted
I don't know.
on that marking test, so we're okay.
No, you can. Okay.
Oh,
Why is it, this has nothing to do with it?
Oh.
I was so insulted.
Do we have a school
Because
nurse?
Gracie was working the concession stand and I
Yeah.
asked her how school was, and she goes, wait, you go to school tonight?
Well, why?
Gracie.
Why do we have a school?
Yeah, the sophomore now.
Why would we need a school
Good
nurse?
level.
Cause like, what if someone was dying?
Like,
They probably should go to the
I'm just
hospital.
astounded she doesn't really go to
But
school.
that's what the nurse is for.
I know.
If somebody's
Is
dying.
it negative or not?
All the
No.
time.
Like if I got
I'm guessing you're taught how to do it.
Well known as before.
And I'm
giving it
hey,
You need
I
your,
can play true or false though.
open your third eye.
These
So
papers
is
are
it
really
true?
bad.
I was just gonna say,
That'll
we'll
watch.
go over it again tomorrow, so you can have one more.
Jason said he knows
Oh.
it's false.
What?
I said no.
I literally
I
only
just stopped watching.
Soon.
Yo, what?
It's like,
Okay,
Matthew.
also, the C
stop
factor
now.
has that
Oh,
C
God.
number.
And it goes back to hour. It's gonna show me my last notification. I haven't gotten one recently.
Unless it could be zero.
Wow, okay, so possibly both things are right as well.
Or maybe plus zero.
You don't know if the factors you
Here's
said.
my boss.
What is it, two that adds up to
I
two?
think my boss is.
Two and zero.
Yeah, that doesn't factor.
Two and zero.
Why is it so it's like?
2 and 1, but that doesn't add up to 2.
Yeah, that's.
That is clean. I was
What lesson is this?
Not a lesson.
Like, what does it look like back here?
Um,
Oh, it's pages. 51.
All the other kids.
That's weird.
I heard a lot.
My budget.
I'm trying to get you guys.
I'm bring Marcus one
There it is.
Alright, you guys get it?
Wait, one second.
I didn't get the last one.
Working on the last one?
Yes.
So, on the last one, just use 1, 2, and 2 for your A, B, and C.
And you should cancel that one.
And it's gonna be a little bit weird.
Is it negative one plus or minus?
It's gonna be an I or bold. Yeah.
Is it like negative one plus or minus?
Wait, C is negative 1 plus or minus I, right?
Ah, Brady, so where you go?
Show you work on that, Brady.
I showed the answer.
Congratulations.
Mr. Gordon, I need you to teach me how to do it on the calculator. You gotta show me.
No, just do quadratic formula.
You know? I was hard.
Did you go over like any of the answers of the evens?
It's the
Yeah.
solution.
We did, we basically did 9, 12 through 15 together.
She is full of problems.
Okay, did you get
This is one of them.
brackets?
This is another one.
You're amazing.
Oh, I just got it.
I
Cool.
hate myself.
That's one of them, and then I got, yeah, I already got that one.
How's your,
Yeah, you did.
My girlfriend.
I should be able to
I
do this
got
very
negative 1
easily
plus minus I.
because
A lady.
I have to do so
So
much,
many.
so much of it.
Oh.
go ahead and.
She's so pretty.
Oh wait, you gotta wait for the tennis match, right?
Hey, Drew, what do you
Yeah, remember? My flowers in the letter. Right now?
What do you do?
No, he's waiting for a tennis match.
Should I call her?
Plus minus we start there.
Bet you thought it was cute.
Whatever.
Okay, 19, guys. Listen up. Hey, 19, it says find a discriminant. We didn't really talk about that this chapter. It's not usually a have-to thing, unless they specifically tell you to find it. The discriminant is the part of the quadratic formula under the square root. And to discriminate doesn't mean to be a bad person. It means to tell the difference between things. So the discriminant helps you tell the difference between what kind of answers you're going to get. Because what happens under the square root kind of decides that. If it's a nice number like 25, because 25 has a square root, if it's a perfect square like 25, then you're going to get a normal answer, like fractions or whole numbers or something like that. If it's a not nice number like 21, because 21 doesn't have a good square root, you're going to get an irrational answer, which means like square root of 21. if it's a negative, you're gonna get an imaginary number. So, anyway, they call that the discriminant. So, what would b squared minus 4ac give us for number 19? You do need, by the way, you do need the quadratic formula. I probably should list every formula you need to have memorized. Maybe I'll make this.
So do it like the regular quadratic formula for that?
Yeah. So
You should make it like the first question on the test.
yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll like say what's the quadratic formula and then what's the
I was gonna say, why don't you ask for every formula?
yeah, and then we'll do that in number 1. And if you get it wrong, I'll like mark it at the beginning of the test so you can use it later.
Alright.
So this is called the discriminant. And remember, we also use this part for, what did we use that part for? No.
Oh, for,
Finding the vertex when we were graphing parabolas, negative b over 2a. We did that, I don't know, earlier. Okay, so to find the slope formula, okay, I'll get to yours in a second. So the slope formula, if they give you 2 points, that's this one. Distance formula. That was the big square root one. Difference in x's squared plus the difference in y squared and squared and all that. Distance, that's one of the harder ones for sure. And then midpoint, how do we do the midpoint?
Y minus y.
Average the x's. Markers are smelly. Average the y's.
What does it smell like?
Marker. Okay. Bethany, I think what you're thinking of is this, which is not one you have to have memorized, but what was that for?
That was for finding the slope when it wasn't in slope.
Right. If you have a
What is the standard?
if you have a linear equation in standard form like this, or throw some numbers in there, like that, that gives you the slope also. But if you don't remember this, what's another way to find the slope?
Put it into y.
Right, solve for y, and the number in front of the x is the slope. So these 4 are the ones that you have to have memorized. It's a lot, I know.
Can I take a picture of that?
But the reason I'm making you memorize these is because all 4 of them will be on like the ACT,
Can I take a picture?
and they don't tell you. Yeah, you can take a picture.
So they like perfectly fail us?
That's what the ACT is designed to do.
So do we just need to know those before the test?
You need to know all 4 of those for the test, yes, which is Friday.
Okay.
It's Monday.
Friday.
And we need 2 tests on it.
Actually, I'm gonna get it around like the day for
Yeah,
We have a chemistry
I never give tests on Friday.
Yeah,
The negative
I
a,
don't
what
really
is that for?
Finding the slope of a line that's written in standard form.
Line on YouTube, so you finish 40 minutes and then put it in 2 times speed.
just cause
Sounds like a guy in his job does it in 3 minutes, so you have to put 2 times speed. I think that's like an hour.
So then,
I don't remember whichever one.
I found one
And
that's
then just doesn't put my name on, I guess.
Yeah.
Himself.
I'll show you.
like,
Right after we had the fire drill, so I thought if we
so 19 we're just doing
and then we had to read chapter 4 and burners and
Yeah.
stuff.
no 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And 6?
Oh,
How chapter?
Hard? Yeah, a few more.
so you have 2 equations.
we never said.
Usually you go back one equation.
Chapter
We didn't have what?
Like, just
Oh, yeah.
She just
It's a long time. Yeah.
Okay, so on the discriminant, whatever we're trying to find that, does that include the square root or only the b squared?
Oh, yeah, you guys doing like right after.
Okay, this is called the discriminant right here.
Okay, does that Like on
No,
the
you don't need a square root.
just-
Okay, so, alright guys, bring it back. So on 19, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So b squared would be what? 4. Minus 4 times 3 times 2, which is like 24. So 4 minus 24 is negative 20. So what that tells me, we didn't do it this chapter. We did it in algebra 2, but I didn't talk
Two
about it this
complex
chapter.
numbers.
So since I didn't mention it in the chapter, I'm not going to put it on the test, but it is again, that's an ACT thing. So yeah, if you get a negative, you're going to get an imaginary. Because remember, this is under the square root. So that means there's going to be an imaginary answer. Complex means the same thing. Complex means like a normal number plus or minus an imaginary number. Anyway, so the second part is solve number 19. So go ahead and solve number 19 just like 18. It should be an imaginary number, right? We already did the square root part, but we got 20. Maybe I should give you guys half pieces of graph paper for 20.
We can just sketch it.
I don't wanna sketch it.
No, let's do half graph.
When you cancel things out, can you only, like, you have to cancel out one of their.
Anyone know what their titles are?
Say what?
If you're canceling these out, I can't just cancel that out.
No, yeah, unless you, remember how your calculator separates them
Oh, yeah.
and also simplifies it. So that was a negative.
That is a negative 20.
Yeah.
But you can make this
No, use your calculator on this one. So this is square root of 20 simplifies. Look back
Yeah.
for everybody.
Because I was doing it whenever everyone was not doing it.
So we
Right here, you need meditation. You need to do number 19.
Meditate on the
Yeah, I wanted to do my number high school. Score checks. Yeah.
Now, real quick.
Oh my gosh, that was fire.
Oh, it does. But sort of. So basically, there's like a QR code.
Oh, yes, it shows you the
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does, Brady.
Okay, now, since we're done, can you like tell us about goals?
Oh, we're doing 20
I'm
also.
not joking.
You just ain't playing.
Never mind, I'll ask that.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Oh, I'm looking for acting calculator.
You don't get any.
Where's the pencil?
I did.
That sheet of graph paper.
Alright,
SpongeBob, is that you?
number, yes, your book. Number 20. Guys, says sketch the graph of each parabola, label the vertex axis of symmetry and the intercepts. I can't remember, I'm maybe a little bit, sorry, fuzzy, but did we do a problem like 20A yesterday, or a couple days
We
ago?
had an entire assignment dedicated to it.
I know, but I think they look like B, not A. Do you guys know what the vertex for A is?
-1.
No. No.
Oh, wait.
It doesn't have one.
No, it does.
Oh, it's negative B over.
No. I'm talking about 20A. Negative B over 2A is what you would use for 20B. I think,
28.
I don't think we would
not 20, but this is just an example. What is the, so a normal like y equals x squared graph looks like this, right? And the vertex is at 0, 0. What does this minus 4 do to a graph?
It makes it go down.
Right for.
Right 4.
And then the plus 1 makes it go up 1.
Upward. So the vertex for this graph is at 4, 1. So we didn't do that on Wednesday, but I think we've done it.
That's
We've done that a
intuitive.
lot.
We've done it last year a lot, yeah.
Wait, what? What? I just.
This moves the graph right 4, this moves the graph up 1. So the vertex instead of 0, 0 is 4,
Wait, what is
4,
it?
1.
Gotcha.
It's always the opposite of this one. Remember from last year?
In the parentheses.
Not the other one. What does the 3 do to the graph, by the way?
It makes it steeper. It
Makes
compresses
it go up
it.
3 times faster. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was one thing that was horrible. There's this one chapter on just vertical and horizontal compressions.
Yeah.
I didn't know which was which. I like couldn't. Because it didn't make sense to me that the vertical compression was like that way, and then the horizontal was like this way. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, that is confusing.
It was bad.
Okay. So that's the vertex. What else were we supposed to find?
The
Axis of
axis is
symmetry.
Axis of symmetry. You guys remember this one had a trick?
That's 4 equals.
X equals 4. It's not really just 4, it's x equals 4 because it's the entire line, not just a number.
Wait, is that number 20? The 3?
20A, yeah. Oh, sorry. No, I made this one up, my bad. Well, number 20 was actually 8 minus 2, x minus 1.
Oh, this.
Oh, like the whole equation is made up.
So it was right one?
Now, they wrote mine in a different order, or they wrote theirs in a different order from mine. So, the vertex is at where?
-2, negative.
No.
1.
Negative
1,
Positive.
positive 1, positive 8.
I was a little,
I mean,
Okay, so that's the vertex. And
Symmetry is 1.
axis of symmetry is x equals 1. Gotta be more specific.
X equals 1.
Because that's, remember, that's a vertical line through 1 on the x-axis. Okay. And then the x and y intercepts. Let's do the easy one first. How do we find the y-intercept?
make x.
Make x 0.
I got.
If x is 0, that's -1. Squared is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 minus 2.
7.
Okay. And then how did we find the x-intercept?
Make 0.
Make y 0 and solve for x.
Didn't we do a bunch of this already?
Yeah, we did this on Wednesday. Or Tuesday and Wednesday, something like that. Make the y 0. So I'm going to write it over here.
Took over.
No, you still got like 8 minutes.
Okay.
Would you FOIL first?
You could, but there's an easier way. Just get this x minus 1 by itself. This x minus 1.
Whatever.
We can just like do this. You could FOIL it and use quadratic and all that stuff. Then guess what I'm going to do next?
Divide by negative.
You can square root both sides.
Right. You can square root both sides.
Let's do that.
Here's the thing that we forgot though.
If you square root of it.
Right, when you square root, you have to make it plus or minus. I said we forgot, I just assumed we forgot. So it's x minus 1 equals plus or minus 2.
I forgot.
Wait.
Testify, I forgot.
Wait, so that's x.
Hashtag me too. Okay. What comes next?
We add the
You put the
1.
number
Add 1, so it's 1 plus or minus 2. which means what?
Plus
1 plus 2 is,
3.
1 minus 2 is,
-1.
okay, so that means there's 2 x-intercepts, which is normal, right? Usually it crosses the x-intercept twice, or x-axis twice. So it's 3, 0, and
So this is the
-1.
one where I have to plug it back in and make sure that
No. No, you don't have to plug it back in. And then we make the graph using all those dots.
You know, my Indians are dark.
I'll let you guys do that.
Get it? Because Indians
No, we don't get it.
are.
Please explain that.
Well, Hindus, the gods, every time they go to the temple, you're Indian.
We're done.
Yeah.
We finished.
I didn't know that was the reason.
No, there's like a specific reason, but they go to the temple.
Wait, how do you do this? Like, what's
Wiggling my
step?
scalp.
What do they do that with?
How do you get
I don't
your,
know.
I guess
Vertex.
stuff.
Seeing if my toupee comes up. What?
how do you get the vertex?
Okay, there's like,
Vertex. On this one, On B?
Yeah.
use negative b over 2a.
Oh.
That's what we were talking about on this. That's what you missed, Drew.
Oh.
It will be on the videos if you watch it. Negative b over 2a kind of tells you where the middle of the graph is. So on 20b, b is -6, a is 1, right?
Mhm.
So -6 over 2 times 1 is -3, and that's the x-coordinate of your vertex.
Oh, okay.
And then to find the y-coordinate that goes with it, you plug it back in to the x. I kind of just re-explained to Drew what we did at the end of last week. You guys remember that 3-day assignment? We did a bunch of these. Remember me circling this over here? That's what I was talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Sure.
So negative b over 2a helps us when it's in standard form, like b, 20b, it helps us find the x-coordinate of the vertex. It's like the middle of the graph. And so on this one it looks like this. Negative b over 2a is -3. How do we find the y-coordinate that goes with that x-coordinate?
Put it back in.
Plug -3 in for x
That's
and see what comes out for y.
Wait,
I zoned out the last 30 seconds.
I did it. I was focused.
Yeah.
you should be focusing on G.
You were. You heathen. Okay, negative b is -6. Okay, I probably need to back up more. We use this. Do you remember using this on that 3-day assignment? So that's for 20b. And I got that. Does this ring any bells?
Yeah,
And you put -3 in, yes. You were thinking about some K-pop star. I know that
You're the most uninteresting.
I'm sure there's one that looks good somewhere.
I don't even know what they look like.
I think
They look like Korean.
I just know they're Korean. That's all I know.
Vertex.
Wait, so this is
0,
what we're gonna finish it?
-3,
Huh?
14.
This is how we're
But
gonna
you get the x-intercept.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, what? We gotta do the rest.
We did almost everything. Just need to finish that 20B,
I
right?
did the other ones by myself.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's because you're skipping school.
No, because Tulsa is a long